Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. We've all heard that statement, but do we believe it? I've often thought about that statement, and it's not that I do not agree with it. It's just that I believe that power reveals what's already corrupt inside of you. Power reveals the true condition of your heart. How you handle power is a reflection of what's already inside of your heart. The universal definition of power is the ability to influence, and that can be by way of natural leadership, charisma, fame, status, money. But in my opinion, power is just simply making a difference. You don't need fame to make a difference. You don't need status to make a difference. You don't even need charisma to make a difference. Because you can make a difference where you are, inside of your house. You can make a difference in your backyard, on your front porch, in your church, in your school, in your neighborhood. You can make a difference. We have a tendency to have a very narrow viewpoint or scope of what power really is. Because when we think of power, we think of someone in a suit with a briefcase, probably who's tall, who sits in a penthouse office with 7 digits behind his name, with the title of CEO. And yes, that's its own category of power. But power can come in the form of a child. Power can come in the form of a homeless person. Power can be in the form of your neighbor who just has a regular job. I'll give you an example. Let's take a cook in a restaurant. When you think of a cook and all of the other staff, you may see the cook as having the least amount of power. But does he? The manager has the authority to hire and fire staff. The manager has the authority to set the hours and may even have the authority to determine what foods are served in the restaurant. But we don't go to the restaurant because of the manager, do we? We go to eat. We go to eat the food that the cook prepares. That's why we go to the restaurant. And if that cook stopped cooking the food the way that we like it, we stop going and or call the manager. The cook has the power to keep you coming back, not so much the manager. That cook, whose name you would never know. That cook whose eyes you would never look into, whose hand you would never shake, has the power to keep you coming back. He may even be the least paid, but he has the most power. That's true power, when you can make that kind of difference and people not even thinking about it. When we go to the restaurant to eat, we're not thinking about the cook. We're not saying, oh, I wonder what his name is. I wonder if I can shake his hand. We don't think those thoughts. We just go to eat. And as long as the food tastes right, we don't care if the manager ever shows up, as long as the food is right. So the power is in the hands of that cook who we overlook. Because we're so busy thinking of power as being someone who's in a suit, who has this, who has that, who has this status, who has this position. That's what we think of when we think of power. But true power is just simply making a difference. How do you plan to use your power? Where you are. Do you plan to use your power to be self-serving? Do you plan to use your power to serve others? God has given us the ability to make a difference in other people's lives. So how are we going to use that ability that He has given us, which is the power to make a difference in this world? So yes, power is the ability to influence, but it's also the power to make a difference wherever you are.